Hi, this is John Perry with IPC, here with this week's IPC Technical Question of the Week. Today we're going to be talking about what is the IPC standard that addresses current carrying capacity in printed boards. And for many of you out there, you're familiar with what's known as Figure 6-4 in the IPC 2221A design standard. That's where we plot current carrying capacity for internal and external conductors. And that chart has actually been in 2221 as well as IPC D275 before that, and a number of other IPC design standards even before that. 10 years ago, the IPC created a task group charged with the task of developing a new standard that would focus entirely on current carrying capacity for printed boards. That standard is the IPC 2152, which was published at the end of August of this year. And in the 10-year development of this document, what we have come to find out is that the charts that are in 2221 and in other IPC design standards before that originated from a set of charts developed by the Navy National Bureau of Standards for the U.S. Navy in 1956. And they were based on phenolic test boards. I believe they were single-sided test boards. The chart that you see here that's in 2221, there are actually two charts by determining what the cross-sectional area is for a given copper weight size, be it half ounce, 1 ounce, 2 or 3 ounce, versus the conductor width. We can establish the cross-sectional area. IPC 221 provides a chart for both internal and external conductors. And during the course of development of IPC 2152, we have come to understand that the internal chart is not actually based on any actual data from the National Bureau of Standards report from 1956. It's actually having the current from the external charts that were produced in that technical report. So we realized we had a pretty daunting task ahead of us in revising these tables and expanding upon them. And now that IPC 2152 has been released, we are expanding from just a couple charts to literally dozens upon charts in the IPC 2152. In IPC 2152, we will show how if you determine or are aware of any two of these three variables, the third can be approximated, determined. That is, if you know continuous current and the conductor cross-sectional area, we can determine the acceptable conductor temperature rise, either in an internal or external conductor, or we can extrapolate any of the other two from other two. So the point is, if you know any two of the three, the third can be approximated. The other aspect of IPC 2152 is we will be providing many charts for current carrying capacity, and they are split up in two main categories: still air as well as vacuum for space environments. And then within each one of these, they are further subdivided into charts for internal conductors as well as external conductors. And these are in turn further subdivided between various copper weights: 3 ounce, 2 ounce, 1 ounce, and half ounce copper weight. So in IPC 2552, we will have dozens and dozens of charts providing information on current carrying capacity for printed boards. Finally, IPC 2152 provides some background information on some of the major factors that affect the conductor temperature rise for both internal and external conductors in printed boards. What I've listed here are the four primary factors. The first, the impact of parallel conductors. How closely are conductors spaced? You may have two conductors that are so closely spaced that they effectively double the heat in the conductor. The second is printed board thickness. Obviously, the thinner the printed board, the hotter the conductors in the printed board will get. 2152 explains how printed board thickness actually is a better transfer of heat away from the conductors than is actually still air or vacuum environments. Third is the impact of the printed board material. Many printed board materials have different levels of thermal conductivity and have an impact on current carrying capacity. And finally, probably the most important impact of any of these four is the influence of copper planes on a printed board. Copper planes on the external or copper planes internal to the printed board probably have the most impact for pulling heat away from a conductor and radiating out away from the printed board. IPC 2152 will provide information on all these factors as well as numerous charts for internal and external current carrying capacity.